this recipe is for fromage fort. This is what you've got. And I know it looks like fromage fort, but the T is silent. And this is a great way to use up little bits of cheese you have in your refrigerator that maybe you had little nubs and things and you need something to do with them. And traditionally, there's a really clever way of using up those cheeses by putting them together in a dip with a soft cheese and semi-hard cheeses, and that's what fromage fort is. But you can use any kind of cheese that you want. For this recipe, we're using the Gassner Swiss. And so I have that, and then I also have, put some cream cheese in here. And then I also have a blend of Gruyere. And I always have Gruyere in the refrigerator. I'm just a little bit, je suis accro, the French might say. I'm a little addicted to Gruyere. It's just such a versatile cheese. And there's lots of cheeses that I keep in my fridge. Both Anne was mentioning local. There's so many good local cheeses that I can get as well. And so that's going to happen. And then I'm going to put some garlic in here. This is, I wrote it for 2 cloves. You could put more if you want. I did learn though from my chefs in France that my idea of a garlic clove was like, as you can see here, was this. Their idea was that. Mine, theirs. So that was a learning lesson in flavor, differences in flavor. And then we're also going to put some white wine in here. It's 1/3 of a cup of white wine. And this allows it to have some extra moisture. It increases the little hint of acidity. And with a dry Riesling, which dry Rieslings are so flexible for anything, that works really well here. I've also made it with non-alcoholic wine. You can make it with, I've tested it with rice wine vinegar. So you really just want to balance the soft and the semi-hard cheeses together. So why would you make this? I should have told you that first. Because it's so versatile. One, it's easy. Look, I mean, I didn't really even have to measure. So it's the easiest thing to throw together. But you can put it with, it's a dip. So here's an example of it being the role of a dip. But you can also put it on pizzas, put it on flatbreads, stuff it in things, make a sandwich spread with that, add it to a pasta, and it can end up being a sauce. There's so many things you can do to play with this, and you can make it your own. For example, I'll probably end up adding some sun-dried tomatoes to this and some pickled little bits of pickled spices to it, and then mix it. So I'm not going to go ahead and blend this here because you don't really need to hear my whiny blender, but I showed you what it looks like when it's nice and creamy. So that is one of my favorite things to have and use for many different things.
Michelle, is it served best warm or cold? Elaine asked.
Oh, thank you for asking that question. That's excellent. It's best to take it out, just like we were discussing how cheeses are alive and the refrigerator slows down their process, their aging process, but taking them out for an hour, sometimes even 2 hours before you use them really allows the aromatic compounds to evolve and be noticeable. So it really is a better thing to do, even with like a cheese dip like this. It's a soft cheese dip, so you don't have to take it out an hour, or depending on your temperature, or an hour and a half. But many of my French friends schooled me when I lived there. Like, you took the cheese out too early, Michel. C'est ton problème. So that's. It also stores well. It's good for a week or longer in your fridge, and it freezes well. A lot of cheeses freeze really well, so it can freeze really well. So that's the fromage fort.